Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of the Amazingly Dope podcast. I have the wonderful, smart, just amazing Dejuan here, who is, his resume is too long for me to describe. I'm going to let him, it's long. First, I will say he's an excellent life coach. Please follow him on all his social media platforms, which he will tell us about. This man he has done the work and can help, I think, bring some enlightenment to my audience, another perspective, in a way that is digestible to everyone. So, this episode is about the importance of, we'll just say attraction. Let's be broad. Let's say attraction. Because I think there's physical attraction and there's other types of attraction. We can argue that later. But we're having a conversation on, this is just my opinion. I just feel like men are physical beings. They like what they see and they go for it. And then everything else falls behind that. Like, oh, she's pretty and she's smart, she's blah, 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 she's blah, blah, blah. But the physical is the initial attraction. For women, it's not like that. Sometimes they're not automatically attracted to somebody, but when we see those other qualities, that attraction grows. I think it's about like how I think we just prioritize things. Men versus women.
Was that a shot towards the male species right there? Like you feel like so here's the thing with that, right? Like it's science. It's science. Like men are like engineered chemically to breed. Right. And like when you come to like physicality, it comes down to looking at who can bear children. What are these children going to look like? Are they capable? Right. Psychologically speaking, like physical attraction is associated automatically with all of these other qualities. Like it's the weirdest thing. And it's funny because we have the great debate between men and women online, and it's like people don't realize why certain things are attractive to like certain people.
Okay.
So you look at men, right? How many times have you seen like a skinny dude with like an overweight woman, right? But when they first got together, she was just a woman with a big behind, right? But really psychologically, that breaks down to the woman having like wider hips, right? Where her able to bear more children. So psychologically, subconsciously, he doesn't even know why he's attracted to that. It just is.
That's deep.
Listen,
so that says a lot. No, I'm listening. I'm learning.
We get hot.
I'm just thinking. No, I get it. Keep going though.
So yeah, the same thing. So right, it's like a wider hip. So it's not even like a big booty that men are attracted to. It's like the hip to waist ratio, right? And that like subconsciously triggers attractiveness to that dude. And he's kind of just like, okay, cool. Like his primal instinct is triggered when he looks, right? And that's why when like later on in life, when the gym stops or the healthy diet stops or life happens, right, trauma or what have you, right, and this person has allowed health physically to fall by the wayside, the person stays with them, like the male stays with them. And you see like people walking down the street looking like the number 10, but that's why it all started, because she had a big booty. Like it's the craziest thing.
Well, from a woman's point of view, I have honestly dated men who were attracted to me and I wasn't initially attracted to them. I'm not going to say they broke me down per se, but as I got to get to know them and they made me feel more safe and secure, whether it be financially, emotionally, spiritually, that attraction grew. And then I saw them with like new eyes. Like, oh, wow, he's fine. Where I didn't see that at first. Kind of like Laura and like Steve Urkel. Like he broke her down.
No, he didn't.
Over the years.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. No, so Urkel didn't have to break her down. He had to turn into Stefan first, right? All of the things that he thought that she wanted, right? So he didn't really break her down. She just had to see all of the things that she thought that she envisioned and realize that like Urkel was enough all along, right? So like it was really superficial on her part to be perfectly honest. It was like because she saw Stefan. Stefan was smooth. He was all of these things, right? But he he didn't really put the effort in. He kind of rested on his laurels. So that's where the qualities came in, right? So it wasn't that she was like Urkel wore her down. It was more so that she opened her eyes,
Well,
right?
that's kind of like what happens to women during the maturing process as we get older. Because my taste at 21 is not my taste at 39. Like, I don't care. Physical is, I need to at least be able to look at you. I get that part. But I'm looking for a lot more than that. Integrity is your highest form of currency to me. So if I can trust you to always do what you say you're going to do, that means more to me than a six pack and a cute smile.
No, but integrity and the things that you look for from a mature standpoint, though, comes from time, right? It's time. It's
Mm-hmm.
time sensitive and time critical, right? And a lot of the times when we're talking about P being in the dating pool or all of the toxicity being out there, right? I'm serious, right? Like that's isn't that the buzzword? That's what you kids are saying today, right?
It's
You're
poop in
saying
there.
it got worse. We have to nuke the whole thing. Nah, but people aren't taking their time with the vetting process, right?
That,
You'll be able,
yes.
yeah, you'll be able to see these things, right? So a physical attraction gets you a seat in the room, right? You can sit at the table, but now I need to understand what it is that you're talking about and what it is that you're actually about. But that takes time to uncover and unpack, right? We talk about, and here's why I hate social media so bad, right? Because
Uh oh.
everybody, no, because everybody wants to throw around the buzzwords. Everybody wants to throw around toxic and red flag and narcissist and what's the other one? There's poop in the dating pool, and but it all comes from like self reflection, right? The
Right.
representative is where I was going with that, right? You can get the representative for the first 3, 6, up to a year, right? I can be exactly who you need me to be, and but your physical attraction is what gets you in the room, right? It gets you a seat at the table. Okay, well let me see what you're about now. But oftentimes the flip side of that is that physical attraction means that I don't have to work for anything. I don't have to develop my character because I'm treated better automatically.
Yes. And that's what I listen. I will take a medium ugly dude
What
any
the
day
hell
of the
is
week.
that? What is a medium ugly to
A
you?
medium ugly dude is someone who, like, if you squint your eye like this, they cute.
I wear glasses. These the
Even
second
with
set of eyes.
glasses, just take the glasses off and then squint.
These
Like, oh,
these
he
second
cute.
these
Yeah,
sec,
like that. Yep. She fine now.
these these second set of eyes don't squint that much right now. So even so in the military, right? Like quick story, right? We have these things called boat goggles, right? So in the Navy, where you're out to sea for so long, right? Now that's the thing. Like all my military people out there that's gonna see this, right? Like y'all can verify this. Put it in the comments. Put it in the show notes, man. Um, we have this thing called boat goggles, where you're out to sea for so long that somebody who you wouldn't be caught dead with, right? In public, like on like shore or like all of a sudden you, hey, she looks kind of good today. Did she do something different with her hair? Where has this been this entire time? But it's really because of the environment, right? And the point that I'm making with that story is that when you start to look,
I'm
why you
sorry.
why you shake your head? It's a thing. The point that I'm making with that story is that we don't know what we don't know, right?
Right.
So we're only exposed to the people that are around us, or the shopping environment, or the dating environment that are around us. So we fail to realize that the king of turds is still just a piece of crap, right? So you may look and see that somebody's fine, or with the medium ugly or what have you, right? Until, like, what happens when somebody that actually is more physically appeasing comes along with similar qualities? Like, are you looking now, or is it a doubt, or is it I settled too early, or is it like what happens at that point, right? Because I'm only exposed to this because I chose to keep myself in this fishbowl. I chose to keep myself in this same dating and searching and shopping area. But what happens when I'm exposed to something different?
That part. And I agree. Because if I meet a man that is attractive and has the qualities I'm looking for, I'm side eyeing him. Like, I don't believe you. I feel like you just, I don't. I feel like you capping right now and you just trying to get what you can get. Because there's different types of fine dudes.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay. There's the smart, like meek, humble, attractive dude who's always got a good quote. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm out here just trying to be a better person every day. That dude. The
Okay,
pseudo heal the world inspirational,
not
person, right?
pseudo.
Pseudo. So there's that fine, right? Who a
Okay,
lot of women come to him. He's like, I have a lot of women. I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out me. That's the one dude, right? Then there's the one who needs constant validation. Like he always ain't got a shirt on. His gray sweatpant collection is extensive. Like just got a crap load of things showing his print.
I feel attacked.
Are you? That's what you doing? I ain't never seen you out here like that.
that's, not,
And
that's
it's
not what I mean.
always like he's just walking to the fridge, like, oh, you could see that. Oh, I didn't. Oh, then you got the one who is just cocky, just like, yeah, I know all y'all want me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out what y'all gonna get me. It's very like there's the cocky, there's the subtle, like, oh, I didn't know I was showing my print, and then there's the I'm just out here trying to inspire lives. Just it just depends.
That,
All
that one,
three of
that's
them.
that's the one that made me feel attacked right there. That one.
The first one, the one I said first.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what? Well, well, what? Let me hold on. Let me sit. Hold on. Let me turn this hat backwards out here. You got, you gotta be all the way effed up out here.
I'm
What?
not saying it's you. Definitely, there's people who really are not genuine. You are a very genuine person. I told you that from day 8. There are people out here, and you know them, who will get online and sit here and be like, I'm out here and I'm just trying to, read more books. I'm drinking water and eating air, and I'm just trying to be a better person. And it's
Not
those
eating air.
people.
She said, I'm just hydrating and breathing. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Nah,
That's
but
it.
here's the thing though. From a psychological standpoint, right? Those people. Listen, fellas. If I can give you one piece of advice, if you have to announce what you're doing, you're not about that life,
Thank you.
right? So like I talk about it like on the platforms like all the time about like me not wanting to hear men say like alpha, right? Because if you tell you that you're an alpha,
I'm sorry.
nah, man, nah, because like listen, this really this really scuffs my Thames right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I got I got scuffs in my Thames right now because of these dudes, right? Because because here's the thing, right? We take these half-hearted definitions, and this is why I say like the buzzwords and everything get on my nerves because people take just enough information to be dangerous, right? I'm gonna take half of the definition and I'm gonna take it out of context and I'm gonna use that. But what you're actually doing is you're gaslighting. You're gaslighting yourself first, and then you're gaslighting the people that you're trying to attract or the people that you're trying to date, right? If I have to announce what I'm doing, then I'm probably not doing it, right? I'm trying to either motivate
Yep.
myself to do it or make somebody believe that I'm doing it, right? Like,
Mm.
listen, y'all know me. I'm a good old Christian boy, all right? Like, like, right?
I'm sorry.
Like it says it in every like important text, right? Like the fruits of your seeds are bared or are shown. The evidence of that is by your life, right? So
Yep.
like I don't. I think that when people come to like my platform and you hear me speak, right, you don't have to. I don't have to say, "Oh, I read 20 books a year." Like you can tell by how I talk that I've read it at least once or twice in my life.
Is
You know
this
what
the Cat Williams dig with his 3,000 books? I'm
I mean?
sorry.
Listen, hey, make sure you put the. Hey man, shout to the great man, Cat Williams, man.
I was just
He's
like 3,000 books.
ain't no way. It's not. That's not. Come on. Come,
When do you live? When do you eat? Take a shower?
but that's what I'm saying. But this as much as that sounds like cap, that's how these dudes come across when they're screaming like alpha or I'm trying to read or I'm trying to better my life. No, stop. But you know whose fault is it? This is women's fault though.
I'm listening.
Listen, you lucky I'm on this cleanse right now. I'm fasting right now. I can't pour up no
Oh
henny.
Lord, here we go with the hell. Go ahead with your fast.
I can't. I can't pour.
Go
I
ahead and
can't.
drink your water and eat your air too.
Yeah,
That's okay.
this air is awfully tasty this morning. Let me drink my water from my Starbucks cup because I only drink not so. This is women's fault, right? Because y'all are too specific.
So
Y'all too
we
specific.
messing it up. We giving the blueprint to us.
Yeah, and y'all shouldn't be doing that, right? I talked about this
Okay.
last night, right? I was in a live on TikTok, right? Dejuan J underscore GML. I was I was in a I was in a live and I was talking about it, right? Because they were talking about how like dudes will be in the comments and you'll see in the chat where like women will come up and they'll like just be putting it out there, right? Listen, men want to hunt, right? What value do you expect me to place on you if you're not making me work for anything, right? What
Thank you for
value if
saying that.
yeah, listen, can I have a candid moment right here, right now, right?
Please.
It's trash, and you're making yourself look bad. Show yourself some damn respect. Because okay, all right,
No, go. You hit us. No, let's go.
let's take it back to childhood, right?
Okay.
When you got like an allowance, right, and it was for nothing, right? Your parents was like, okay, here, I'm gonna give you $20 a week, right? You was buying your friends ice cream cones, you was buying extra milks at school, you was stopping at the corner store. Hey, I got $40. What y'all want, right? And back in the day, like I'm gonna date myself a little bit. Back in the day, you can go get like a honey bun, some chips, and a drink for like $1.25, right? So I'm treating
That
all
part.
my friends. I'm the most popular kid at school
You
because I'm buying.
balling.
I'm bu- but I didn't value the money. Like, what would have happened if I would have took like half of that and put it somewhere for a future thing, right? I could have bought the sneakers. I could have been saving. I could have bought my own car. You know what I mean? Instead of asking
Hmm.
for like financing, right? But so the same thing is true when we're talking about attraction, right? If you are out there, right, like you said, men are visual creatures, and some of us got four eyes instead of two. We can see what you look like. We know that you got the statistics that we're looking for. Why are you trying to draw extra attention to yourself? It's trashy. It's trashy, and it comes across as desperate. And from a mental health perspective, it says that you got holes or possibly daddy issues that we ain't prepared or unwilling to deal with. Like, let me come on, clean it up, ladies. Come on, stop it.
Thank you for saying that. I had an argument with the gentleman on TikTok as well. And he said women should shoot their shot. And I said, this is why we should not. So I gave the analogy of McDonald's. It's like
Mm-hmm.
somebody coming home and bringing you McDonald's. You don't like McDonald's, but you'll eat it because it's there. Versus you saying, I want Chick fil A. You get up, you get in your car, you drive to Chick fil A, you go through the excellent customer service line and get your food. You're going to enjoy that meal so much more because it's what you actually wanted. And that's what we need to stop doing. We need to stop being McDonald's to a lot of these men who don't want McDonald's. They'll
Well,
take it, they'll
I don't
date you.
thing with that though, right? So like my master's is in marketing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's so apropos that you use that analogy because McDonald's actually practices psychological warfare, right? Check this out.
Yes, they do.
When you when you're driving down the highway, right? You smell McDonald's 3 miles before the exit, right? And now you could have not have even been hungry, right? You could have not
Mm-hmm.
been hungry, and then you're just like, hey, and ladies, I need y'all to pay very close attention. Don't miss the bar that I'm about to drop right now, right? So you're driving, and it's 3 miles down the road. You smell the fries, right? That's because McDonald's has those stacks, right? The fries could have no smell coming out of the restaurant, but they make you hungry, right? They entice you, right? This is the equivalent of you being thirsty, right? Uh,
Mm.
This
Come
is the
on, Pastor.
this is the this is the equivalent of you being thirsty, right? So you entice, right? It could be the perfume, it could be the crop top, it could be the extra skimpy clothes that you chose to go to the bar or the club with. It could be, the extra attention, the nails, the wigs, the eyelashes. Y'all need to knock this off, right? Because this is enticing, and I'm going to tell you why this is dangerous. So then you start to see the first advertisement, right? And that's like 2 miles before the exit. So now you're just like, okay, boom. Now my brain has made the connection. Okay, this is the equivalent of y'all posting on social media, doing the busted challenge. This is the equivalent of you lip
Mm.
syncing to SZA or Janae Aiko or Ashley Isley, or you know what I'm saying. We see it. They're talking about come and get it if you want it. No, 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 no. Because once I do come to get it, there's no value because technically I've been manipulated into this attraction. I wasn't looking for you.
Wow.
I wasn't
Wow.
looking for you, right? And now that I've been manipulated into this attraction, now when I get you, right, you're gonna end up as a regret. And this
Mm-hmm.
is why, I post the distance after the fact. After I partake from the McDonald's fries, right? After I get a sip of the shake, right? I regret eating that meal.
Yep.
And this is exactly what y'all are doing to yourselves. Every time y'all putting yourselves out there, like, we know that you're attractive, you're good looking, you're symmetrically
Mm.
pleasing. So what? What else do you have? I tell you, from a mental health perspective, it's low self esteem, it's low self worth.
Wow.
I'm calculating how many hearts I got on my TikTok video because that's my pseudo validation. It's
Yep.
I'm dealing with I'm trying to fill a hole, I'm trying to fill a void, and because I don't know anything different, I don't do anything different, so I repeat the cycle of toxicity, and men, quite frankly, don't want to deal with that.
But this is frustrating though, as a woman. Let me just
Oh,
be honest with you. And I think that women, other women are a woman's really, really worst nightmare. It's not really y'all. It's not the men. It's other women who, some women, not me. Now I'm not gonna say all. Some women feel like they need to compete with. So if they see a woman, this is why the surgeries and all this stuff is just so like huge right now. Is because it'll be a man saying, "I don't like girls." Listen, I told y'all I got half a cup of ass back here, and I
mm,
make it do what it do. You feel me? My party's in the front, and if that ain't for you, keep it moving. But that's me building my own self confidence. Like, I'm not gonna let anybody make me feel bad about my body. If that's what the only thing you see of value in me, I'm not for you anyway. You know what I mean? So if you're going to spend money where you can die, you cannot be here anymore just to make a man be attracted to you who might cheat on you anyway.
probably will, because there's no substance there, right? See, I need people to learn the difference between somebody being attracted to you and somebody fetishizing you.
Okay, break it down, please, for
Right.
us.
So, like a fetish, right? Like a fetish is like a sexual like kink or something that you just
Mm,
want to have some fun with, something you want to have a tryst. Whereas something that you're attracted to, you'll continue to go back to that well, right? So like there's some people who have like little people fetishes. There's some people that have BBW fetishes. There's like, so when you go get these surgeries, right? These BBLs, the hashtag better body leg surgeries, because y'all be forgetting about it. Yeah,
oh
you know what I'm saying,
Lord.
the booty and the breast, they don't match the legs. So we know, right? And you're going to get all of this plastic and stuff inside of you, right? And you say, it's for me, it's for my self-esteem, it's for my self-worth, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Okay, what happens when they have to replace those airbags in 10 years? What happens when they have to change these things out? What happens if your body is not receptive to what's being put into it? And is it fair? Is it fair for you to get with somebody who got with you under those pretenses and they have to deal with your health issues? Is it fair for
Mm,
that person to have to deal with what happens when like the things start to sag in your face and everything is starting to show the signs of maturity, but your body is not? Like, it's weird, right? What
I didn't think
happens
about
after?
that. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Listen, what happens after the fact, right? What happens after the fact that you did this and now you're 30 years old saying I wish, or you're 40 years old, you're 50 years old, you're saying I wish that I never had done this. But the fact of the matter is you do it for the validation because there was some issue. Instead of going back and actually healing the issue, you want to try and cover it up because we want the easy way out. So men will fetishize this because this is what we see on the orange and black site. This is what we see on, you know what I'm saying,
I
you
know.
know,
I ain't gonna. We know.
yeah, this is what happens, and this is the visual representation, right? But we don't realize that that type of attraction is a taught behavior,
Mm,
right? That type of attraction is a taught behavior. If you look at what your mom looks like, if you look at what women in the men's family look like, they tend to be naturally attracted to women of that, like, of build, like, that build, that demeanor, that sort of thing,
okay. Why is that?
because it's what's familiar. That's what love feels like.
Okay.
It,
I just want to understand because I was like, oh,
no, not necessarily. I'm not talking about Oedipus complexes and nothing like that, but
okay.
like, if you look at a happy relationship, right? Look at a happy marriage, a long term relationship, and you look at the wife, and you look at the qualities of the wife and the qualities of a mom. They mirror, right? If you look
Yeah.
at the attraction, right? You can find like an aunt or like a cousin or somebody that, like, because it's what's familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's so I forgot where I was going with it. Oh yeah, so when it comes down to it, we we will go there because it's an escape from reality. And that's what you become when you start to
Mm.
put these surgeries in there. You become a fetish. You become an escape from reality. This is a fantasy that I want to act out that I don't have to regard the consequences for. Now,
Wow.
if I'm attracted to you, then I'm gonna continually come back, right? Like this is where I start to build preferences. This is where I start to build types,
Okay.
right? This is where I tend to date, right? Like you tend to see me with this type of woman, or a woman that looks like this, or a woman that has these qualities, right? But that's because I'm attracted to them. Like there's something in me that's being called to that, versus something that I just want to act out that's typically out of character.
I have a question since you just said that, because I have dated all types of men. I don't feel like I have a type per se. They could have been tall, short, skinny, thicker, plus size. I'm more like attracted to like each individual. If I can't talk, individual person had something that like attracted me to them. Could have been their personality trait. It could have been a six pack. I'm not gonna lie. It could have been anything.
Y'all to the
Yeah, I do
gym.
like. Yeah, but y'all a lot. Y'all a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I. God bless. I can't do it. I'm like, oh my god, I'm booking right now. I can't. Or right now I just have to tone. I can't. It's like day. I got a meal prep. I can't do it for you. That's that. Sorry. Am I triggering you? Your face is like, I got to
How
take
bad?
my pre workout.
How,
Sorry. I dated it. Like one dude I dated was like, oh my god, I only have 6 packs today. I don't have an 8 pack. Like my 2 packs are. I gotta tone up. I'm like, oh my god, I can't. I can't.
but that's a
If
tale of
you
two
do
coins,
it,
though.
then you do it.
But isn't
Like
that
what?
isn't that a tale of two coins though? Right. So you're attracted to the discipline quality, but not the
Yes,
stuff that
you're
comes
right.
with it. Right.
It's okay. It's like when it's your obsession. I love a man that is ambitious and dedicated and consistent. I will say that. However, if your whole life is like basically the sun is the gym and everything rotates around it, whether that be you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you do your pre workout, you know, lift heavy weights first, then you go do cardio at the gym, then you come back home, and then you drink like a huge protein shake. And then I'm in the bed like you could have just burned some calories with me. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like I need somebody. It's okay if you work out. I'm never gonna tell you not to, but I just need somebody that knows how to balance things out and make sure that I feel like a priority as well.
I'm sure you shut this whole thing down. I don't even want to do this. I'm
Oh
joking.
shit.
I'm joking.
I'm just saying for me, the person I dated did not make me feel like a priority. The gym was a priority. And
But
everything like his looks where he was obsessed with how he looked.
but that's insecurities though, right? Here's exactly what I'm
Yes.
talking about, right? Here's why we have to slow the vetting process down. And here's why
Mm.
your looks can only get you a seat at the table, right? Imagine had you taken I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, right? You could have started to see these things and start to be like, hey,
I agree with you.
but what happens is like people that are from I won't call it a broken place, but from a place with holes like in their life, right? And they're looking to fill that void. They ignore this, right? And it's not their fault. Like psychologically, right? Like psychology lesson, real quick, right? When you like someone or you're infatuated with someone, noradrenaline and dopamine flood the frontal cortex of the brain, and that cancels out your reasoning and logic. So
Yep.
you and this is why, ladies, y'all fall in love with potential. Ladies, y'all
Eh.
think that
Ooh. Ouch. Ouch. Ow.
listen, listen, I
Whew.
told you I was coming here for it. I couldn't pour up no henny to enjoy this conversation,
Oh,
so I
I needed a shot.
might as well
Ouch.
might as well throw the smoke. Um, this is why we fall in love with potential. This is why y'all ignore the fact that he might be a mama's boy. This is why y'all ignore the fact
Ooh.
that
Ooh.
you know the in laws can run the relationship remote control. This is why y'all ignore the fact that y'all saw the signs and you think that you're the one that can change it. Right? These are ego driven thoughts because you're so. You know what? I'm going in. It comes from a place of desperation because
Oh.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ouch.
Because cold beds don't feel good, right? Or not being told that you're beautiful every day doesn't feel good, or walking into an empty house when you thought that you would have something different in your life, but because we couldn't check our egos, or because we wouldn't heal,
Mm.
or because we become dependent on validation, and this validation comes in the form of anything that will tell me that I look good, anything that will show me affection, anything that will show me intimacy, anything that could fill this bed at night. It doesn't matter how toxic it is. It doesn't matter if you'll kiss me goodnight and wake up and punch me in the eye. Like, I'll deal with that because it's
Wow,
better
that's
than being
deep.
alone.
Ooh. Oh,
Um, uh, my bad.
that's gonna hit. No, we needed that. Somebody needed to hear that.
My bad.
No, it's here good. Thank you for
I'm
saying that.
gonna stick to this PlayStation button up here.
Now,
Stop
some of
playing.
us getting played like PlayStation. That's the problem. And this is where, like, the last man that I attempted to date, I'm gonna say attempted. He was great. He was very sweet, had great qualities. However, I did not feel like he was financially prepared to be in a relationship. He had a lot of things going on. And I felt like a relationship was not a priority. His priority should be, let me get my finances together so I can take care of my children, myself, and whatever. I would have been helping him get through that. And listen, I'm not doing that. I'm not like, everything doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want perfection. However, you need to have the ability to handle your business, whatever that may be. I don't want to feel like I need, because in the past I've been an excellent project manager. Well, I'll step in, oh, if you just do this and maybe if you do this, blah, blah, blah. I've learned the art of shutting up and observing and seeing how you handle things. I feel like for me now, my job is to support your vision. What is your vision? Let me not put the vision in your head. What is your vision? And then let me see if it aligns with mine. Because
Yeah.
I have really took potential and been like, let me take this ball of clay and turn it into, and it was really me trying to control that man. And I felt safer being like, well, if I just do this, this, and this, like PlayStation, get him to where I want to, then I can have this life in my mind.
Well, so
Not caring about him at all.
Well, so here's the thing with that, right? It's a little bit as part of that potential piece, right? But another part of that is men, right? Men
Mm,
aren't being men because y'all are not holding us accountable,
that part. Yeah.
right? There's no more powerful force on this planet than feminine energy, right? There is no
Mm,
more, right? You can look at the
break it
annals of
down.
you can look at the annals of history, right? Entire wars have been fought over women, right? Over
Right.
like the Trojan War was fought. I mean, not was the Trojan War? Yeah, with over Helen of Troy, right? Aphrodite started wars. You look at even in the Bible, right? David sent Uriah to the front line of the war to be killed so he could have his wife, right?
Mm,
You look at the downfall of every great leader. It is particularly right now during this movement in this country. It all came at the behest of a woman. So that tells us that
yep.
there's no more powerful force on this planet. But here's the thing, fellas. Here's your part. It's 4 F's that you got to be worried about: faith, focus, finances, and faithfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and part of that faith is having that vision, right? Like you're tired of women being aggressive towards you. You're tired of women not being quote unquote submissive, which is taken way out of context. You want to talk about all of this kind of stuff, but what are you presenting for her to follow? What solution are you presenting to follow? Right, here's the thing: we have to stop. And there's nothing wrong with you right now being the cart pusher at Walmart, right? But if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, where's the business plan? Where have you applied for these grants? Where are the receipts? And women, y'all need to start demanding receipts. You want to be a business owner? Okay, what have you done to support your business? Have you gotten the qualifications necessary to sustain your trade? Have you applied to college? Do you have a business plan in place? What type of tax code are you trying to fall under? What is the end goal for this? What is your vision? Where's your
Mm.
and if
Whew.
we're not presenting these things, and you then quite frankly, ladies, y'all are being fools. If a man comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm not built to work for anybody," okay, cool, entrepreneurial spirit, I'm getting, I dig that. but show me the receipts, right? And fellas,
Mm-hmm.
y'all shouldn't be complaining when the woman are asking for receipts, right? Like it might be annoying, it might be like a shot to your ego, it might be a shot to your pride, but your job as a man is to do whatever possible to make your woman feel comfortable and safe enough to follow and trust in your lead and your vision.
Mm.
And if you're not doing that,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I didn't even come
You
over here for this
dropping
today.
gems.
Listen,
No, no,
I
we
didn't even
need
come on
it.
here for this today.
No, we need this. Listen, listen, listen. I had to take accountability for my choices and who I decided to entertain, who I let stay longer than their expiration date. I had to take accountability and look at myself and say, what was I desiring out of them that I can't get from myself? And the moment
Mm.
I really had that self awareness of, instead of going out there and be honest, like I probably stayed in relationships longer because I didn't want to be alone. I did want the man in my bed, right? So once I realized that I'm comfortable alone, it's whoever I meet now. It's not out of like, I don't meet men with expectations other than to get to know them. And if it ends in friendship or it just ends, I don't like the way I used to, that ugly cry. Like, oh, God. I might have a moment and I will say, you know what? It was a blessing to know you or get to know you. Thank you for the lesson that you taught me. And I can just move on. I don't dwell on things because I have faith that God will provide who I need when I'm ready for Him. And maybe I'm not ready yet. Maybe there's some more lessons I have to learn. But if I go through the rest of my life and don't get married again, I'm okay with that too. It's just being okay with whatever happens and not having like, I want a man by this age, I want a house and I need this. Like, I don't subscribe to society's norms anymore. It's
Nah,
what's good for me, not what's good for everybody else for me.
agreed. Agreed 100%. And here's the thing, right? We confuse mate and mission a lot,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Everybody that you meet that you see with the that's wearing the Savage or the Baccarat, right? That's not you're not supposed to sleep with them, right? Sometimes that attraction is for you to learn a lesson or to be your final examination to see if you have learned a lesson. Right, we
that
can't
part.
move on to what's next, or we can't move on to what's better if we are in a place where we're still repeating the same patterns. Right, your purpose is directly connected to your patterns. Right, a lot of people say, oh, I guess the universe or God or karma don't want me to have these things. But no, it's connected to your patterns. Have you changed your pattern? How do you expect to continue to ignore red flags, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you can even take accountability. Oh man, I should have known this. I should have known this. But are when you know better, you're responsible to do better. Stop confusing your mate with your mission, because some people you encounter are just meant strictly to teach you a lesson. Not necessarily. We don't even have to get romantically involved, right? I could just be a man and you could be a woman, right? And there could be a mutual attraction there, but it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to get with you. Right, I might be supposed to observe you and how you handle your relationships and how you handle people, and I can use that as a boundary, right? Because I can learn from two ways, right? My experience or the experience of other people. But if I
Right.
walk up to somebody and everybody that person encounters, he punches them in the face. Why do I have to walk up to them? I know what's coming.
I think experience has taught me a lot. So when I see a red flag, usually I used to, my pattern was, well, maybe I'm not giving this person a fair chance. Maybe this is not how they always are. I don't even say that to myself anymore. I'm like, and we're done. I'm not even gonna see how far this can go. And it's always a like, can we still be friends? No, we cannot be friends. I'm
But
good.
what? Why? Well,
No.
how do you expect to get the filet mignon and then you want to go back to Bologna? Absolutely
We're
not.
not doing it. I don't need any more friends. And
Mm-mm.
no. So don't even leave that door cracked open. Just close the door and move on. Rip the band aid off. Because I feel like we as women, I could tell you, like, I have friends who every man they have dated or a woman they've dated, they have become whatever that person was. So if they love sports, all of a sudden they love football. If they loved let's say going to concerts and they hate going outside. And all of a sudden they're outside all the time. Now they're always, at a concert or a festival. Like that ain't who you are. Like every relationship you turn into whatever that person you are attracted to is. I don't even do you even know who you are? And that's where a lot of men and women get twisted up.
I mean, but the answer to that question is simply no, right? So here's the thing, and here's the danger. Okay, let's go.
Do it.
So So it's energy, right? The
Mm-hmm.
colloquialism is a person is the sum of their five closest relationships, and the reason that
Oh,
that is because when like your perspective is not good enough to make it through life alone. Anybody who's told you that they've done everything by their side in your body, right? There's an exchange. There's an exchange of energy. There's an exchange of habits. There's an exchange of thought process. There's an exchange of mindsets, right? And this is the danger of dating when you're not completely healed because that wound is then
mm,
filled with what that other person is offering. And you can't really consider yourself a solid person. You can't say that you keep it 100. You can't, what's the new word? You can't say that you stand on business. You can't
ah,
you can't say that you stand on business if everybody around you is influencing who you are, because what that
that
says is,
yes,
yeah, because what it says is that you have no moral code. It says that you have no boundaries. It says that you're not grounded. You're not rooted in spirituality. You're not, whatever your belief system is, you're not doing that. And as a result of that, that person is able to leak and bleed and infiltrate the core of your being. So now you're code switching, you're a chameleon. And this is why you'll see the videos of women crying on TikTok. I don't even know what I find happy anymore. Shut up. Because the warning signs were there.
all the time.
Warning signs were there. And when it comes down to us like looking there and saying, hey, I don't know how I got here. Yes, you do. You don't. Yes, you do. We're all in the same path, right? The signs were there. It tells you, hey, if you want, oh, this is a bar right here. If you want depression,
Oh,
take this exit. If you want anxiety, take that exit. If you don't want to settle down, just keep driving straight. If you want the McDonald's, two exits is your stop, right? The signs are there
oof.
telling you exactly how to get to where you want to go. In 2024, the year of information, right? Everything's at a fingertip, right? There's therapy has never been more accessible. Coaching has never been more accessible. Information to get for yourself has never been more accessible. So there's no excuse, right? You're choosing to stay ignorant. And quite frankly, you deserve everything that happens to you if you choose to not empower yourself with information.
That part. Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people don't want to do the work. It's easier just to hop into another relationship and now you're not alone. Now you don't have to. You know what I realized for me is I was great at being a project manager because it forced me to not deal with me. I could pour into you all day and I didn't have to focus on me and what I needed to heal from. I'm always telling people, and that's when I had to take a moment to be like, if I go back to school and become a therapist, which is what I'm doing, is it
Hey,
because I want to feed my ego so I can have more alphabets behind my name? Is it because I just want to hear other people's problems so I don't have to focus on myself? So I took these last few years during COVID to really heal and figure out what my true vision is without worrying about any of the other things I used to care about. I had to literally had to have a funeral for my ego. I named her Michelle.
hey,
And
rest
I
in peace.
realized that, yeah, Michelle was messing my life up. Michelle was trying to have me out here looking like, this person I never wanted to be. I was great at going into rooms and be like, hey, I'm blah, 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 and selling this image that was never who I really was. And I dated on that same thinking, like, I want to be like the Cosbys, like everybody, says that, right? I wanted to be Claire Huxtable. I wanted to have the big house. I wanted to have this car, this purse, this clothes. And I'm like, what does all that matter at the end of the day? If I die tomorrow, what really matters to me? And now it's making memories with the people I love. However,
Yeah,
that if we go on a trip, we do something together, all those things are more valuable to me than a Chanel bag that I worked in and didn't spend time with my child to get.
there you go. Hey, see, that's the key thing right there, right? Like I heard it broken down like this, right? If I gave you $1 million tomorrow, but you had to die, which would you choose?
Right.
You choose to live, right? If I gave you $1 million
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, and so that means that your life is more valuable than money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I gave you $1 million tomorrow and told you that your mom had to die, what would you choose? Right? So relationships were more valuable than money.
It is.
If I gave you $1 million tomorrow and I told you that you had to be sick for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Mm.
Right? So health
Yep.
is more valuable than money. So a lot of us are out here doing things for things that it doesn't even rank in the top three of what we hold actually
Exactly.
valuable. But when we don't do the work, when we don't go back and look at ourselves, when we don't hold those funerals for our egos, right? We get in this comparison, we get into this validation, and this is where the
Yep.
BBLs come in, and here's where the false attraction comes from. But to your point, when you were saying that you're good at pouring it into other people, anybody that's paying attention to you will know that it's disingenuous, right? Either that, or
Mm,
they'll call cap on you, right? They'll be like, hey, you're out here doing blah blah blah, this, that, and the third, right? But you're not doing this for yourself. You're a liar. Why should I listen to you? And you actually lose that person too.
right.
I had to learn that lesson. You know what I mean? Like, because like
Mm-hmm.
I was in a similar situation, especially once we get a little psychology behind us, right? We get a little,
Right.
we get, we get a little people reading behind us, right? It's like, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
figured this out. I figured this out. Okay, cool. But when's the
Right.
last time? When did you look in the mirror?
Yep.
Right?
Got to do that
Every
inner
lesson.
work.
Listen, every lesson
Oof.
that we teach and put out here inside of the universe is for us first, right? To teach back is
Mm-hmm.
to lock it in for us and to plant the seed for somebody else.
It is. And I feel like everything, and my grandmother told me this. She said this in my last episode. She said, everything you go through is for the glorification of the kingdom of God. And
Facts.
I used to be like, lady, leave me alone.
Shout
Like,
out
I
to
don't want to
grandma.
hear that crap. You know, when you're going through something bad, you're like, I don't want to hear that. Right? I'm about to cry. Um, but I feel like everything I went through, good or bad, helps me really empathize with whoever I'm talking to. Because I'm not talking from a place of, I just want you. No, I know I've been down there. And this is how I got up. And if I can get up, you can too. And it's not some inspirational, like, motto quote meme. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it's like to be sick and have people be like, you'll be better. And if you just, drink spinach and drink ginger every day, you should be fine. Shut up. You have no idea what it's like to sit in a doctor's office and hear bad news. And you don't know what's going to happen to your life after that. When you have kids and you're like, am I going to be here for them? So I'm not going to be a person giving those, inspirational quotes to you. I know rawly how you feel.
Raleigh, is that a
So you
word?
could just, no, I don't know.
It's super.
It's super raw.
Oh,
The
okay. All right. Cool.
supercomputer. Super raw. I know how it is. The rough, raw, no lube, whatever you want to say. Um,
Oh God, that escalated quickly. Where's where's my
it's
red
me,
light?
so it's no surprise.
Where where's the red light in the Hennessy?
Hennessy. I'm just saying, I know what it's like to have that fear of, am I going to look the same? Are people going to want to date me with this? You know what I mean? Like, how's my life going to be different? Can I still have the same quality of life? Like, these are things that people go through in their minds. And having any kind of situation go on, whether it be, just a temporary thing, permanent thing, whatever, if you're a single person and you're dealing with it, it's always fears that are going to come to mind. And how do you push past those fears and say, no matter what happens, I'm going to be grateful that I'm still here and I'm going to accept where I am now? That is a hard process to get through.
No, 100% it is. But the thing is, you train your brain ahead of time, right? If you want peace, then you have to prepare for war, right? So if that's the case, when things are good, when I'm laughing and I'm out and I'm smiling and I'm everything, these are the things that I'm holding on to, right? These are the things, right? So this is where I train my brain to stay mindful, to stay grateful, to stay purposeful, right?
Yes.
Because when I'm going through times like this, much like attraction, right? I can't control. Well, I have some degree of control to what happens to my body. So I
Mm-hmm.
have some degree of control.
Some.
Yeah, yeah. I said some. I said, dude, don't be side eyeing me right now. I don't appreciate that. Um, when you you know what I mean. But when you start to like practice this thing, right, you have to start to, what can I control and what can't I
Right.
control.
That
Let me
part. Mm-hmm.
maximize what I can control. And much like our topic today, right, when we're talking about attraction, right, you can't control who or what finds you attractive. Only thing that
That
you can
part.
do is wake up every day and put the best product you can forward, right? And the same thing is true in life. The same thing is true, right? Like, so I can't control. The doctors say I got 6 months. These about to be these 6 months about to be a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I asked a question like on a live, like a few like on one of my morning lives when we were having the conversations. I was talking about, if you were told that tomorrow was the last day of your life, what would you change in your plans today? Now, if we took that mentality and applied it to relationships, we applied it to becoming like the best version of ourselves, then like vibrationally, energetically, we become more attractive to like everybody because we radiate. We radiate from love, we radiate from happiness, we radiate to joy. So regardless of what you look like symmetrically, your energy and your aura is going to attract those people.
Yes, but what I've learned is that because I present a very peaceful and, calm environment, people who are chaotic will be attracted to me too. So I have to protect my peace and dismiss those people immediately because they like to be the energy vampires and be like, I want some of that. I want that peace. But they're not peaceful. They will
What
come and wreak havoc. So that was me taking accountability. Like, I can't take that on.
dismiss? Maybe just keep at a
Yes.
distance, right? Hear me
No,
out on this shit. Let me submit to you.
I'm listening.
Who's to say that you're not the person who plants the seed of peace in their life? And when I say dismiss, right, like I get it. Don't let them in. You can't be anywhere close to me, right? So I set my life up like this, right? I set it up like King Solomon's temple, right? You got the outer court, you got the inner court, and then you got the holiest of holies, right? The outer
Okay.
court are the people who, I'll see you like we may have, been in TikTok live boxes together, right? Like I may have seen you at an event or, something like that, right? Like you have no bearing on like, I'm indifferent towards you, right? Like I love you as a human,
Okay.
but who you are as a person, I'm indifferent. I don't really care. Then you got the inner
Mm-hmm.
core. These are my acquaintances, right? These are people that I'll reach out to, right? We're invited to the same events. We can hang out. Hey, who's gonna be there? Oh, Sonny's gonna be there. All right, cool. I'll roll through, right? You know what I mean? These are my acquaintances, but they still have no impact on my life. And then you got the holiest of holies. These are my advisors. These are the people that counsel me. These are the people that hold me when I'm crying, right? But so if you're fostering this peaceful environment, your job or your mission at that moment might be to instill that seed of peace. And you can keep them in the outer
Okay.
court and still be like, hey, you know what? You can still get grain from this silo, right? You can still get grain from this storehouse, but you can't eat it at this table. I'll give you the grain, but you can't eat it at this table.
Thank you for that. I needed that. That helps. Because I have people who reach out to me all the time and I'm like, you got a lot going. It's a lot. So I'm always, cordial, nice, respectable. However, I do keep them at bay. So if they
Yeah,
see
for sure.
me online, see me on TikTok, I'm always gonna say, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. But then I gotta go. I'm not gonna sit here and have a sidebar conversation with you because I know it's gonna be some fool la la. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've heard some stories. Some stories.
Now
Whew.
that's the thing, right? Like, so now I agree with you, right, on that part. I'm just saying, I would, I'm just submitting to you to not completely just be like,
I received that.
you
I
out of here.
received that. Because I do my
Just
cutoff game is strong. No, my
listen,
cutoff game is strong. I'm
listen.
quick, y'all. If you don't know this, I'm quick to drop out of any box, any phone call, anything I feel like it's not gonna go well. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head out. Because I know that if it's not gonna be a productive conversation, I don't want to engage in it because I know my mouth is bad.
No,
And I
so I
may
agree.
say something that I can't take back. Because once you say those words, it doesn't matter if you're like, I'm sorry. It's already out there.
No, I agree with that part. Especially if there's going to be no resolution, but they like leave room open for the revisit, right? Because
Always. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm a
but
processor. I need a minute to um, control the emotional side response so I could talk to you rationally. Because I know that if I respond with this emotion I'm feeling right now, it's not going to be good for either one of us. And if I care about you, if I tell you I love you for real. And I need a minute to make sure I'm coming back to you with the right energy because I want to come back to you with love. Like, I'm listening now. What do you need from me in this? Because maybe I didn't recognize that because I was feeling this way.
yeah, nah, for sure. I told you, I say it all the time. I carry around an index card, right? I get pissed off or upset, or I'm so serious. If I get upset in a situation, like I'll just write it down. I'll write down the time that it happened and the emotion, right? Because
Wow.
it's gonna keep me productive. Like I don't journal what happened factually until later on, if I need to. right? And here's what allows me to decipher if it warrants a response from me or not, right? I just know that I have to be productive in this moment, and I can't allow what happened or what
Mm.
was said to take me out of myself, because that's what makes me unattractive, right? So then,
Huh.
yeah. So I'll just write it down. So like, let's say it's 11:06. Okay, let's say anger 11:06. I'll just write it down on this index card and I'll put it in my pocket. Right now, at the end of the day, when I'm doing my prayers, my meditation, or what have you, I'll look back. Okay, 11:06 anger. What was I mad at? If I can't remember, then it doesn't matter and it's gone. But
Wow.
if I can remember what it was, I'll write out what happened. And now I'm detached from the emotion so I can look at it factually, right? I'm not still like upset about it because remember I had to come back to it. So I'm not still, the sting of what happened doesn't bother me anymore. So now I can look at it factually and be like, okay, you know what? I could have done this better. I owe this person an apology. Or this person should have did this or should have said this. I didn't like the way that they handled me. I owe this person a conversation. Or I had no wrong in this, and instead of responding I still carried on. This person owes me an apology, right? And now I can go back and be like, hey, I got receipts. Hey, in 11:06 you said this right here and it was
Oh
unprovoked.
Lord.
And now some people call it, no, I won't even own it. That's not even petty. That's just, hey, look, this happened, and I feel like you owe me an apology, and now we can have a conversation because we're headed towards somewhere, right? And the person can easily be like, I don't feel like I owe you an apology because of this, and this. But at this point, I'm listening, right? Because I want a win-win situation, right? When it comes to
Yeah.
conflict, right? You got the win-win, the win-lose, and the lose-lose, right? I want the win-win scenario.
I feel you on that. Okay. So we're gonna wrap this up, but I want to ask you, what are three qualities that makes a woman attractive, in your opinion?
There's
Three.
nine. There's nine. I wrote a whole book on it.
Well, let's go through some because we want to put this book out. We don't want to tell everything. Just give us some.
I will say an enjoyable disposition, emotional
Okay.
intelligence, sex appeal, and dependability.
Okay. Maybe I need to write a book in response to your books. I need to read your book and then respond to it.
Yeah, she did. Listen, it's coming. It's coming out like later this year. It's called "She's a Dime." It has all 10. It's an acronym for all of the 10 qualities that'll bring any man to his knees.
Let's. Okay. Is there a website that we can pre-order?
Yeah, you know what? I'll set that up. I'll put that on there. Shopgrownmanlogicpod.com along with all my other merchandise. Right? It's
I will definitely be adding this into the comment section or in the description.
yeah.
We need this book.
This T-shirt that I'm wearing right now, I got like custom scents that you see on this shelf back here. Where is it? Back here, I got two male fragrances. The female fragrance will be coming out later this year. I got pajamas on there. That glass that you see me drinking out of with this logo
Mm-hmm.
on it, right? That's on there. There's booking. You can book a session with me like via that website. Yeah, it's up there. Shopgrownmanlogicpod.com. It's on my TikTok. It's in my TikTok profile and my link tree. Um, yeah,
That'll be
under
in
the
there.
merch
So,
tab. It's cool.
so I think for me, my three attractive traits. I'm gonna come up with three. I don't even know if I can come up with three. Um, Emotional intelligence, of course. Um, Ooh, it might be more than three.
Mm-hmm.
Self control is sexy. A man that has self control. Ah, and integrity, of course. Just a man who always says what they mean and means what they say. I think just facilitates an environment that makes a woman feel safe enough and secure enough to be that submissive woman that men are quote unquote looking for. Because we're not going to submit to no BS either. Just being
Can we
honest.
just dispel the rumor right now, right? Submissive just means cooperative, right?
Yes,
Can we
let's
just put
do
that
it.
out there? No, what I'm saying, like
Mm-hmm.
it just means cooperative, right? I think like men screaming that they want submissive women are insecure men that just want control over something.
That part. Can I ask you something since I have you? And I've,
Sure.
I've screamed this before. I feel like a lot of men want a traditional woman until it comes time to pay bills. Then I need to be modern.
Well,
Why is that?
because it's a control thing, right? I want you. All right, fellas, let's dance. Here we go. So
Oh shit.
what what happens is when it comes to like values, right? Men want a traditional woman because these women didn't put up any argument, they didn't put up any fuss, and this person can do exactly what they wanted to do. This comes from an insecure, egotistical place of where you don't know what a happy relationship is supposed to look like. When you say that you want a traditional woman, right? You fail to realize that the man is ultimately responsible for the decision in the household with input from his woman, right? He's going to make the final decision, but he has to respect her enough to bring the decision to her and get her input because she may be looking at something that you're not looking at, right? And this is why we have enough information to be dangerous. You say submissive, and I want to make the decisions and blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. But how do you expect her to follow if everything that she has is contingent upon you, and you gave her no voice in what's happening? That's not a relationship, man. That's slavery, right? I want you to cook and clean and not have a voice. That's slavery. So don't talk to me and tell me that you want these values inside of a woman and then turn around and be black power and my ancestors went through this, because you're doing the same thing. So heal that trauma that gives you the need or the desire for control first, and then you know that when you get with somebody in a relationship, and love is an actual verb, you can go to her and be like, hey, I want to do this and this. Here's the plan, here's the
Right.
problem, and here's how we're going to get there. And she can say, what about this and this, and you iron it out. And when y'all get up from the table from the agreement, see, you still got control because you told her this is what you wanted to do, but now she has an input, and now you're making her feel included and more like a partner, more so than your slave or your housewife or your cook or your nanny
Mm.
or your babysitter. Stop allowing your ego and your in-laws to run your relationship. Just because you didn't see grandma and grandpa argue doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you didn't see your mom or your dad, or you didn't have an example of what love's supposed to look like, equip yourself with some information and power. Stop wasting these women's time with these half-ass pseudo definitions that you have because you're misinformed, and ultimately it's going to cost you. Sorry,
Mm.
I'm good.
Woo! If y'all don't follow this man after this, I don't know what
Okay.
to tell. If you are ready to really, well, he just hit me in my shana now at least 3 times. You hit me right here in my spirit.
You trying to touch the
So
joint.
I'm a, hey! So I'm definitely gonna take the gems that you dropped today and apply it. I'm always open to new perspectives, growing. This is one reason why I started this podcast and why I usually have men, because I feel like I love my women, but I'm gonna be like, yeah, girl, that's right, that's true. I need that. I'm just being honest. I need the opposition so that we can have both sides of that coin and understand that I'm not a man. I don't want to be, and I'm happy in my queendom, but sometimes I gotta adjust my crown too. I gotta learn. I gotta grow because I don't want to repeat those same patterns. There's things I'm still working on because I still don't want to get married again because I feel like it's slavery. I feel like it's signing up to put shackles back on my ankles.
Mm. Take the shackles off her feet so she can dance.
That part. So, um, hopefully, we can mend these fractures in our male and female relationships so we can heal on both sides and have more productive relationships and show our children what real respect and love is in a household. Because just because our parents were together for a long time doesn't mean it was a healthy environment.
Bingo. And it's because the conscious minded people have to speak up, right? The positive minded people and the people who have the right idea, we outnumber the toxic people. It's just that the toxic people speak louder.
Yes, they
And,
do.
and because we're busy on purpose, and because we're busy on task, and we're busy on, like, we don't even like rebuttal like what happened, so it seems like that their voice is louder, but like we outnumber them, right? Like, don't give up hope. Stay in the
Mm-hmm.
fight. Stay in the fight.
There are some, first of all, let me say, I do not like women say there are no good men out there. There are some really great men out there. They're just not out there screaming about submission and, BBLs and I want a woman who looks like this. They are grown men who have done the work and will love you for who you are, genuinely who you are, and not who they think you should be. So stay true to yourself. Don't settle. And find your own inner peace. That's all I have. Anything you want to end on?
If I can do my closing on your podcast.
Yes, yes,
All right,
yes.
so listen, there's 9 billion people on the planet, but only one you. Nobody else is equipped with your mindset, your mentality, the way that you perceive things, the way that you receive things, and that makes you rare. And because you're rare, you're valuable. I love that for you, and I love you for that. So take care of yourself and take care
Woo!
of each other.
Love it. Thank y'all.